2500, hit the log, wide open throttle. Definitely running a bit rich still. Just gonna pull a little bit more fuel out. What is up with it, YouTubes? Watching for live here. Just wanted to bring you guys this video today. Been pretty excited to get this S200 on the budget build car, but you know, unfortunately with everything that is going on in the world and you know, the machine shop being slow, you know, it's gonna be a while before I can get everything back for assembly. I believe we have a couple of parts on back order as well, so you know, that's not helping anything. So in the meantime, I'm pretty bored, so just want to, you know, like the title says, just want to give this bad boy a good test drive, test her out on all boost levels, you know, turn it down you know, as far as it will let me go, somewhere like 15 psi. You know, I can probably go down to 10, but it's going to creep up to 15 by the time I get the red line. But you know, that's something I haven't played with low boost like that in a long time. But this side, I you know, wanted to do this for, you know, just for everyone to have this information. I think this is a really good entry-level turbo, one of the best ones you can get for the price. Should be pretty fairly easy to bolt on. This is the previous turbo I've been running, the GTX 35R. Runs a 0.82 housing with a T3, so I basically just went ahead and got the same T3 with the 0.82. So the difference, the turbine was pretty much the same size. Actually, the Borg Warner, the turbine was like 2 millimeters bigger, but the compressor wheel is smaller. The compressor wheel is basically equal to like a GT3576 compressor wheel, so same thing that came on like the 3076, and then the, you know, the GTX is a little bit bigger. So we'll definitely, you know, the gear's definitely going to flow a little bit more, but for the price, you know, this should do just fine. But we don't know yet. You know, it's definitely something I've been wanting to test out, so we'll definitely be doing that, testing on all different boost levels. This turbo I've had on the car for quite some time. I've had some questions about it. I've ran through a couple different compressor wheels, but these are the main ones here that I want to show you that I've had questions about. So GT35R standard housing, upgraded it with the GTX turbine wheel. And then at the same time, I had ran the Gen 1 GTX. That's a 11 blade wheel, 62 millimeter compressor, the inducer. And then for the GT35, the exducer is 82, and that is actually the maximum amount of exducer you can fit. So this wheel, although it looks much, much bigger, the exducer is the exact same as this wheel. If I took it off and put them, you know, next to each other, it look the same. It's just the inducer. This one's 62, this one's 66. So, you know, being 4 millimeter bigger, it just looks bigger. The design is different. This is a 6+6 wheel. I was told that these flow more up top. They're usually a little heavier, but they flow a little bit more power. So I decided to try this one out. It was really cheap. It's basically just like this wheel on steroids. So I did add a little bit lag because it is just a little bit heavier. It's probably like 20 grams heavier than the Gen 1 wheel. But, you know, it was fun testing it out. Definitely made the most top end power. It just pretty laggy, and it definitely moved the torque up a little bit too. Like it put you in the seat pretty hard, like 5,500 RPM, something like that. So just something I want to show you guys before, you know, probably don't see her again. If you do, maybe on another car that I'll be bringing on the channel, you know, who knows. But for now, I'm gonna go ahead and slap this puppy on. And, you know, we'll go take her for a rip and start getting her tuned up and get her going. Oh, would you look at that bad boy? All right, got her all installed. Pretty straightforward. Just had to delete the coolant lines. I'll show you guys how I did that in the budget build series coming up shortly. Oil feed -4 still the same. Oil drain -10 still the same. You just use the Borg Warner fittings. T3 Turbine housing, same thing, flange is the same, V-band, but when I put the exhaust on, the turbo, the dimensions is actually a little bit shorter, so I was having problems connecting it to down there. It was making the flex pipe kind of stretch, and didn't really want that, so I went ahead and took the downpipe off, cut the flange, and added a good 1/2 inch of pipe, and basically got the clearance to where it's perfect. So just had to do a little modifying to that. No big deal. Took about an hour, so it wasn't that bad. Only other thing I had to do was I had to get a 2.5 to 2 inch coupler, because the outlet on the Borg Warner is 2 inches and the outlet on the Garrett is 2.5. So that was really the only other thing I need to do. I got some miles on her already. She's ripping pretty good. Definitely fun. Definitely more streetable. I'm really excited to, you know, bring this on the channel. Something I've been wanting to test out for a while, like I said. So tested low boost first, and I just slowly have creeped up to the 30 psi, so it's on 30 pounds right now. So figured this would be a good time to just go for a rip, and then I'll probably make another video later on just doing a comparison from different boost levels, like I said previously. So ready or not, let's take her for a rip. Of course you are. Why wouldn't you be going the same way that I'm going? That only just makes sense, right? Well, guess what, buddy? Got a fucking surprise for you, buddy. See you later. Nothing like 130 on a back road. That shit feel fast as fuck, dude. So I did a pool going that way. There's that house right there, and that guy knows this car. He does not like this car for obvious reasons, but sometimes I'll go down and then I'll turn around and come back. I'll go down, you know, check the data log, make a small adjustment, then I'll come back, do like a third gear pull, and on my way back I'll see him. He's trying to like run out the garage, like waving at me to fucking shut up. Sorry, buddy. I'm going to drive my rocket ship. Slow her down, second gear again. Brake boost. Quick 150. So pretty much at that same spot, going the same speed with the other turbo, the car was doing like 160. So that's pretty good, you know. Still doing like 150 right there. Still got pretty decent top end, very good mid-range, of course. I mean, you just hear that puppy spool up. Definitely not as loud as my other one, but that's because, you know, my other turbo is modified to be loud. Put the window down, get
This little turbo absolutely fucking rips. No doubt about it. Holy shit. I've also been kind of tweaking the shift cut a little bit, and I think I've got that dialed in pretty good. It just fucking grabbed that next gear and woo! Hope everybody enjoy. Hope everybody like. I was hoping to bring you guys this video on the other car, but you know, like I said, it's gonna be a while before I can get that car, you know, rolling. So figure, you know, why not test it out on my car? It's pretty good.
All right, made it home. Everything Gucci, everything looking good. Like I said, just cleaning up the logs a little bit, kind of just getting it a little more dialed in. This turbo is actually quite impressive, you know, to give my honest opinion. I think that the best turbo for this car is the 35R. I just think for the amount of power you get versus the spool, you can't beat it. If you're gonna run lower boost pressure, I don't recommend running a 35R. I definitely recommend running something a little bit smaller. Like if you're only gonna run like 20 to 25 PSI, I think the 30R, my friend's car, is really good. 25 PSI on this turbo, pretty good too. Definitely makes more steam than that. But I would have to say this is really good in between for the 30 and the 35 that I've been running. This thing still screams pretty hard. Puts you in the seat, in my opinion, just as hard. I will have to take some people for a ride, you know, maybe do another co-worker reaction video. You know, they always want to go for a ride, so I might do that just to test that out. But definitely plan on doing a video testing different boost levels, try to turn it down to like 15 PSI. That way, you know, some of you guys out there that are still wanting to get a setup on stock engine, kind of like my friend's S6, you know, I think this turbo could do 20 PSI, no problem, stock engine. I don't think it would be an issue. So I would like to turn it down and even turn the rev limiter down a little bit just to get some comparisons for you guys so you can see what it would be like if this is a setup you wanted to run. But for the price, in my opinion, after putting it on the car, so far out of everything I've tested, this is the best turbo for the car. It is just, it seems like it hits just as hard as the 35R. Probably makes just a little bit less top end, but it definitely spools quicker. It probably spools a good maybe 300 to 400 RPM quicker. So that's a pretty big difference. And then, you know, the 35R with the bigger wheel that I had, it spools probably like 700 to 800 RPM quicker than that. So that's a pretty big difference, especially driving on the street. You know, with a really big turbo, you really got to know how to drive the car. So it's kind of nice, you know, when it's smaller, it spools up quick. And for how quick this thing spools, it makes serious power. It makes serious torque. I think it making the same torque as before. I think it's just shifted a good, you know, 800 to 1,000 RPM earlier in the power band. That at least that's what my butt dyno is telling me, and that's all I have to go off of. So, definitely want to be doing more turbo stuff in the future. You guys want to see like a turbo video or something like that? That's something that I was going to do, but just so busy with everything right now. I just, you know, if there's a demand for it, I would definitely make time for it. But there's a lot of things that I want to experiment with. You know, like I said, you know, find out the science behind it. I think the biggest issue with turbos is the back pressure on the turbine side. That really is the issue with my 35R. For how big the compressor wheel is, the turbine wheel is just not big enough. I'm pretty much, you know, 33, 34 PSI. It's starting to, you know, get over the, or at the 1.1, 1-to-1 ratio for the exhaust back pressure to map pressure. So most likely going to be installing a exhaust pressure gauge, figuring out a way to tie it into the manifold so I can start calculating that and figure out what is the max amount of boost pressure I can run on this housing, and then what's you know, if I want to run more, then obviously I'll have to get a bigger housing. So that's just a way to be able to check the actual data by checking the back pressure of the exhaust. So that's going to be another thing that I'm going to be doing in the future. Switching to the Borg Warners, I should not have a problem with the back pressure because the turbine wheels are so, you know, the sizes, they're much bigger than the compressor wheels are as far as, you know, being an even match. So typically the Borg Warners, they're, you know, made for diesel engines, so they typically don't have as much back pressure. They have a lot of efficiency. So I'm pretty sure I can probably squeeze, you know, 40 PSI out of this turbo. So we're going to find out. Slowly but surely. So hopefully next video I'll be probably testing around a little bit. If not, you know, hopefully get some more videos of the project car. But just want to thank everybody for stopping by and making it through the whole video. Appreciate that. So you know, hope to keep making more videos this year. Got a lot of stuff planned for this year, but you know, it's all in time, kind of just waiting for things to fall in place for some things, and you know, other things I don't want to rush. So hope you guys are excited for the future. I know I am, and just like every other video, just hope everybody have a very good day.